Worcester vs. Georgia began on February 20th, 1832, and concluded March 3rd, 1832, but its causes and roots go back to 1827, when the Cherokee Nation established a constitutional government. This constitutional government meant the Cherokees were declaring to the American people that they were their own sovereign nation, and that they could not be removed because of this.
This action taken by the Cherokees greatly angered the Georgia legislature. The legislature annexed the land that the Cherokees claimed and abolished their courts, laws, and government completely.
They even established a process of taking Cherokee land and giving the land to white citizens. In 1830, Southern states passed the Indian Removal Act, which allowed President Andrew Jackson to negotiate with native tribes to have them removed.
The passing of this Indian Removal Act led to John Ross, the Cherokees' principal chief, to challenge the act, arguing the act violated the Cherokees' rights as a sovereign nation. This led to the case Cherokee vs. Georgia. However, the Supreme Court refused to hear the case. Samuel Worcester, a native of Vermont with the Cherokee Nation, began to translate Bibles and became an influential member of the Anti-Indian Removal Act movement. In response, the Georgia government passed a law prohibiting non-Indians from residing in the Cherokee lands without the permission of the state.
Worcester refused to apply for the license to live in these lands, and because of this, the army came and arrested Worcester and 6 others.
Worcester appealed the case to the Supreme Court, arguing that Georgia did not have the constitutional right to remove him from these lands, due to them being part of the sovereign Cherokee Nation.
The court ruled in favor of Worcester that Georgia did not have the authority to remove him. John Marshall said it violated his 14th Amendment rights, which protects citizens the right to life, liberty, and happiness. And be it further enacted by the authority aforesaid, that after the time aforesaid, it shall not be lawful for any person or persons to confiscate or attempt to confiscate or otherwise to cause a forfeiture of property or estate of any Indian of said tribe in consequence of his enrolling himself and family for immigration or offering to enroll for immigration or any other act of said Indian in furtherance of his intention to emigrate.
This quote from John Marshall solidified the statement that the Cherokee tribe was a sovereign nation, and that Georgia did not have the right to try and remove citizens of a foreign nation.
The leaders of the Cherokee people had hoped that Marshall's ruling would persuade the federal government to stop the talk of the Indian removal, but President Jackson did not enforce the ruling.
Jackson is widely quoted as saying, "John Marshall has made his decision, now let him enforce it." However, his actual words were, "The decision of the Supreme Court has fell stillborn, and they find it cannot coerce the Georgia to yield to its mandate." And so, the Cherokee people were still removed from Georgia on what came to be the Trail of Tears.
Despite this, Marshall's ruling on the inherent sovereignty of native tribes would become natives' strongest weapon when arguing against the Americans encroaching on their land.